I hope this recipe comes out incredibly good. Let's go. Hey howdy hey, it is Molly the Disney Picky Eater, and I am back with my at-home series where I try to recreate Disney snacks at home. And today we are going to try to recreate the JackJack Num Num cookie that you can find in Hollywood studios. Now this is a gigantic sort of like cup of cookie. It's like this, it's bigger than my hand. It's gigantic, it's delicious, it's amazing. They serve it warm, it's melty. Let's get into it. All right, so I am working off of a recipe that I just found on the interwebs. It is from a website called Picky Palette, and so let's just get into it. So we need to start with 2 sticks of butter, which seems appalling to me. This recipe makes 8 giant cookies, according to what it says. So we are going to take our 2 sticks of softened butter. So this got left out for like, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. And it's nice and room temperature-y. Now I am using a stand mixer, as you see. A lot of the times when you make cookies, you just kind of do it by hand. But this would need like Superwoman. All right, so to these 2 sticks of butter, we are going to add 1 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. I've never seen so much brown sugar in a cookie before, but we're gonna go with it because I've never made these, so what the heck do I know? All right, 1 1/4 cup. You know anything about brown sugar is how it gets like all stuck together. I always feel like brown sugar makes such a mess, like to a point where it like annoys me when it's in recipes. 1/4. All right, and also to that sugar, we're gonna add some more sugar. Just keep telling myself these are giant cookies and all of this is gonna get distributed, but we need 1/4 of granulated, regular old sugar, 1/4 cup in the bowl. All right, and oh, to start, you wanna preheat your oven to 350. You wanna do that before you start everything because then it'll be ready by the time it's all mixed. So we put these things in there and we're gonna beat it until it's combined. Here we go. You might need to stop it partway through to get that butter off of those paddles. All right. I'm going to smush this down, and I'm actually going to kind of do this a little bit by hand also. All right, so combine all of this sugar and this butter. Do a little scrapey scrape on that. All right, so we've combined these things. Now we are going to add the eggs. You need 2 large eggs. 2 large eggs. And the vanilla. Now, I remember what I said last week about cracking these outside of where you're supposed to do that. I am not listening to myself. 1 egg. Do as I say, not as I do. Woo! That was a big old crack. 2 eggs. All right. And then we need, which I feel like is a lot, 2 tablespoons of vanilla. I know I feel like it's a lot, but I think that's just because it, one of these is already open. Because they have to go through, so the ingredients have to be spread out. Vanilla. Woo! Just enough in that little baby. Make sure you're using pure vanilla extract. You do not want to use imitation vanilla. It's got like a weird chemical-y taste, and it's not good for you. So don't use that. We're gonna pop this back up and stir it until it's combined. It's combined, but it's chunky. I'm assuming that's just the butter chunks. If you have butter chunks, I think that's okay. All right, now we have to add the flour, salt, and baking soda stirring in slowly until it forms a ball. That's what we're gonna get our dough. So, baking soda and kosher salt, we need 1 teaspoon of each. I'm actually gonna drop these in and then slowly add the flour. If you were smart, you would be measuring these all out into another bowl. I think this is okay to do. You should measure them out into a bowl and then like slowly add the bowl to the mixture. But we're gonna go all willy-nilly and do it this way. And while this feels like a lot of salt, again, the portion sizes seem astronomical, but I'll show you. These are the size liners that I got. Now these were very hard to find. I had to get them on Amazon because really all you can find in the store are cupcake liners, and you don't want that. You want kind of like a peanut butter cup shape. So you really want it to be that shape. So it took me a long time. I can link what I found. All right, we need 3 cups of flour. So I'm gonna turn this on and then start adding this slowly. You also don't want your mixer on too high, because then you'll get like a poof of flour everywhere, and that won't be good. All right. We have cookie dough. So most people know what cookie dough looks like, what cookie dough feels like. You want a good consistency. You want to kind of get that kind of sort of like peanut buttery, a little bit sticky to your hands kind of feel. There is a lot of flour up here. I'm gonna scrape this down, and I'm actually gonna do a little mixy mix with my hand, but we also have to add in the chocolate. Now this recipe calls for milk chocolate chunks. For the life of me, I could not find milk chocolate chunks anywhere in any store. What you could do is get a king size Hershey bar, the ones that are like really thick, and you could chop that up and give yourself chunks. I'm just gonna go with chips. That's what I had. It'll be easier for me to just use the chips. So I'm gonna actually pull this down, get this, ooh, this guy's in here. It would help if this came down first. You wanna make sure you get all that off, all this dough off, because you don't wanna, you can mix the chips in by hand. You don't wanna mix the chips in, it's unnecessary. Okay, wooden spoon, that'll be easiest for mixing. We'll pop this baby off of here, and I'm gonna measure out my chocolate chunks. So you need 1 1/4 cup. You need a cup for in here, and then a 1/4 for sprinkling on top. So I have these Nestle Toll House milk chocolate morsels. They are regular size, they're not the minis. Now I have a feeling that when it comes to the chunks, because they're so much bigger, not by much, but they are bigger, that maybe this cup of chips might not necessarily be enough. So I will mix it around and I'll see, and you know, truly, you can do whatever you want. If you want a million extra chips in your cookies, more power to you. I'm here for it. So, into the dough this goes. This smells amazing. This smells like quintessential, amazing homemade chocolate chip cookies. Now, this is not something I do very often. If I'm wanting cookies, I'm lazy, so I don't usually make them myself. I will usually buy a Nestle Toll House, like, you know, pre-made cookie dough. So there's not much left in this bag. I'm just gonna dump it, because it really didn't feel like there was a lot in the dough itself. So, and like have you ever heard of somebody be like, oh, there's too many chocolate chips in these cookies? Don't think that's a thing. All right, dough is stirred in. So now we have to fill these guys pretty well. So I'm gonna do a little dump into there, and it says to press it down in the same way that you would with like a chocolate chip cookie. I'm gonna kind of like press these, and I have these sitting on a cookie sheet with parchment paper on it, just in case we get like a little bit of overflow and they kind of spill out. I don't want it to make a mess in my oven. I'm gonna fill all these, and then we're gonna get them in the oven. You wanna cook them in the oven, 350 for 22 to 24 minutes. I'm gonna check them at 20 minutes to see, depending on your oven. Obviously, you should know your own oven temperatures and whatnot, but we'll see after 20 minutes what they're looking like, because you don't want them to burn. I forgot one quintessential important step at the end. You're supposed to sprinkle some more little chips on top. So we're just gonna give a couple on there. Just a couple. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do some with and some without. And also, somehow I only ended up with 7 cookies instead of 8. That could be my own personal measuring issue, though. Into the oven they go, and by the magic of editing, it is a different time. Okay, we're in the kitchen. The timer has buzzed. Let's check them out. OMG, these look incredible. They're giving me JackJack Num Num cookie vibes. Now, I am seeing now that, like, they even, that's regular JackJack. He wants to be part of this. You can't eat chocolate. I can see now that, like, these ones that have the chocolate chips, they just look a little bit more desirable than the ones without. They'll probably all be equally delicious, but you want to let them cool for a little bit. You want to eat them warm, but don't burn yourself. You want to get this like lovely golden brown, and you can always check it with a toothpick to make sure that they are cooked all the way through. I did poke one of these. They're looking good to go. Also, just a pro tip that they will cook a little bit more as they're this hot. Sir, you want to make your YouTube debut even better? Did you want a cookie? Okay, so I let them sit for about 6 minutes to cool them off. This is incredible looking. Trying to get this into focus. It is, with the exception of the wrapper, I mean, this looks legit. I don't know, guys. I'm nervous. Ooh, these wrappers are good. It's coming right off, no sticking. I'm nervous that this is like too good to be true. All right, let's give it a little. Ooh, yeah. Oh, those chocolatey chips. All right. The taste test, y'all. Cheers. Look at how perfect that bottom is. It's like a golden, oh my God. Wow. Okay. I'm going to end up keep eating it. Does this taste like the JackJack Num Num cookie? Not 100%. That cookie, I think, is a little thinner. Now, that is my own fault. I really packed these up. I probably put too much in each of them. Had I maybe done a little bit less, it wouldn't be as thick. And this is, it's springy. It's a little less cookie and a tiny bit more cake. Are they good? Oh my God, they're delicious. This is like out of this world. Phenomenal. Super easy to make. It's another just dump all the ingredients in and chuck it in the oven. It's fantastic. They don't take long at all. I cooked mine for about 22 minutes. It says 22 to 24 minutes. It just has such a quintessential cookie, chocolate chip cookie flavor, which is absolutely what I'd be going for. Now, if somebody handed me a JackJack Num Num cookie from Hollywood Studios and handed me this, I'd probably know the difference. But like if you're trying to do something that's like giving you Disney vibes, which this 1000% does, then 110% get yourself some ingredients and go make these. I think that if I had put less dough in, they'd probably be a little less cakey, but it's so good I don't even care. With like a scoop of ice cream, phenomenal. So this copycat recipe is fantastic. It's not 100% the vibe that maybe you are looking for, but it is super easy. I would 100% try it. Definitely put the chips on top as opposed to no chips, because the no chip ones just look a little sad. Like, womp womp. But that was just a choice I made. If you can find chocolate chunks, use chocolate chunks, because that's another part of it. I should have put in even more chips because I was using chips and not chocolate chunks. Anyway, this is definitely a successful recipe. Easy to do. Anybody can kind of get this done quickly. Much less time consuming than the beignets because there's no rise time, there's no waiting. It's this, that, and then bam, and they're done. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried this recipe or if you're going to try it. Let me know in the comments below if you tried the beignets. I want to know if you tried the beignets. And let me know what you would like to see next. We're going to try to do it all. So if you're looking for all the 411 on Disney, I've got you covered. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to spend the rest of my day eating this cookie. Bye.